All right, we're live. And good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, uh, Sir
Good
Barbie.
afternoon. Good afternoon, Michael. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. And in the tourism industry, we always say good morning. It's always a brand new start. It's always a brand new beginning. Everything that's bright and promising. And today is another promising day, another broadcast of Turismo TV. And we're bringing it to you live and direct from, well, different places, actually. And my name is Barbie Atienza, and I'll be one of the moderators together with my co-moderator, my partner there, the president of Turismo
Tourismo.
PH, my good friend Michael. Good afternoon, Michael.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Sir Barbie, and to our panelists, Attorney Helen J. Catalbas and Erwin Narito and Mr. Peter Tai. Good afternoon. Magandang hapon po sa lahat na nakikinig sa atin dito sa Turismo TV.
We will be introducing our guests, our panelists later on more comprehensively. But the magic of technology, kita mo naman, no? Where are you broadcasting from, Michael?
Okay, we are live now in our YouTube channel, Turismo
Uh-huh.
TV, and we are also live in Turismo PH and in our group page Turismo TV, Facebook group page.
Mhm.
Also, we are now
Pero saan
streaming. Yeah, we are now
Saan ka
also
ngayon?
streaming other. Sir, yes.
Saan ka ngayon?
Of course, we are at home, safe and safe and sound. Like everybody else, we're not going out. We're trying to follow the government protocols and advisory. And together with my family, what we're doing right now is well, my pastime now is gardening because
Oh, okay. Okay.
it's
I'll tell you
addictive.
what.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm broadcasting live and direct right from the heart of Manila. I'm within the walled city of Intramuros, and of
Wow.
course, we try to minimize moving around. And personally, what I've been doing is all the time throughout this quarantine is to sing. I've been singing a lot, and I'm also asking people to sing. As a matter of fact, on Facebook, I put up a new page called the B Bar by Barbie, where everybody can just load up their singing talents and share their songs. So I'm telling my guests from wherever they are, from Dubai, from Singapore, from Western Visayas, you can log in with me and join me in my B Bar, and we can sing along through the quarantine. Michael, you
Why
still have to
not?
be there. I haven't seen you there yet.
Ma'am Helen is editing.
All
We'll visit your page. We'll visit your page.
right.
We had our
Easy.
flag ceremony last Tuesday online with the rest of my colleagues in the Department of Tourism Region 6. We have flag ceremony first day of the week online.
There you
Yes,
go. Yeah, that kind of thing works. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to first thank you for joining us and welcome you to the program, the show. This is Turismo TV's rendition of our new episode, and it's called Tourism Update in Western Visayas under GCQ. We will talk about the travel sector, how it will respond to the protocols under the GCQ, and what are their strategies on reaching the market under the new normal, and what are there once domestic travel is allowed, what we plan to do. We'd like to bounce back. And just in case you're not too familiar, Region 6 happens to be where you'd find some of the most exciting, some of the most exotic tourism spots in the country, which includes, of course, undeniably, everybody knows Boracay, world-renowned Boracay, but among other places there, you've got Iloilo, well, different places in Region 6. And we have a panel of speakers, panel of sharers who are with us today, who are stakeholders as well, so far as tourism in Region 6 of the Philippines is concerned. First up, I'd like to welcome to the show the Director of the Department of Tourism for Region 6, our good friend, Attorney Helen Catalbas. Good afternoon, Attorney Helen.
Good afternoon. Happy day for everyone.
Welcome.
Despite
Welcome to the show.
I'm very happy to be here, and thank you very much for inviting me.
All right.
Greetings from the beautiful city of Iloilo, the capital of Western Visayas. Thank you very
Talaga
much.
naman. Yan ang mga the city of ano yan, city of many firsts. Marami na
Yes.
nagsimula dyan sa Iloilo. Di ba? Historically. We also
Right.
have with us, joining us is Managing Director of the Boracay Adventures Incorporated, Board of Directors of the Tourism Congress of the Philippines, broadcasting live straight from Singapore, Mr. Peter Tai. Good morning, good afternoon, Peter.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Greetings from Singapore. I'm presently stuck here for the last few months. I still miss my home, Philippines. Thank you, everyone. It's a great honor to be
All right. We
invited.
hope to see you back very soon.
Yes,
Right?
I
And
can't wait to go back. Yep.
the chairman of International United Hoteliers of the Philippines Incorporated and duty manager of Holiday Inn, guess where? Dubai. Dubai, and we'd like to welcome to the show Mr. Erwin Narito.
Hello, good afternoon from sunny Dubai. It's summer now here, and I would like to greet all of us in the Philippines and also in Dubai and international. I also like to greet my co-members and leaders of United Hoteliers of the Philippines. They are now watching, and of course, my family in the Philippines and all over the world. So we are welcoming you to our segment today. It's all about our economy and the Philippines in our tourism and hospitality industry. Okay,
Particularly doon sa Western Visayas, no ha?
Western
Welcome to the
Visayas,
show.
of course.
Erwin, sa lahat ng narito, ikaw malayo. Alam ko yung mga narito malapit. Eh.
Yes, yes. I guess you can get
Alright.
that also.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, what we'll do is first we will have all our speakers do their presentation of what's happening now, what's the situation where they are now, particularly in Western Visayas, and then what their fearless forecast of what's going to happen after this pandemic is over. I mean, this pandemic has to end somewhere, sometime, hopefully sooner than later. But what's in store for us out there? What can keep the Western Visayas tourism alive and kicking? So, Michael, if we're ready, we'll start with our first speaker.
Yes. Yeah. Let's begin with our DOT Region 6 DOT head or director, Attorney Helen J. Catalbas. She will have his presentation. I think, ma'am, you can just tell us
Yes.
when you're ready to present or when
Yes.
you want to show to the screen your presentation.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready, and I hope
Okay.
the technicals are ready also.
There's your
Thank you
slide.
very much. Yes, I would like to give you a tourism update in Western Visayas under GCQ now, but transitioning to modified general community quarantine starting June 1. Okay, so next slide. Please allow me before the tourism update to present the year that was in just one slide. This was how Western Visayas before COVID. No, that is last year. We had 5.8 million foreign and domestic tourists, and one of the top contributors are Boracay, of course, and Iloilo and Negros Occidental. But I have other very strong tourism destinations, namely Capiz, Guimaras, Antique, Bacolod City, and of course the city of Iloilo, where the base of the Department of Tourism is, and also the capital of the region. Next slide, please. Yes, please. Next slide. Hello. Yes, at about this time last year, starting with the lockdown on March 17 up to yesterday, and the same time last year, we could have already 1.4 million tourists had it not been for the lockdown, or more than that, 1.5, I suppose, because we had been promoting early this year very strongly the region as a preferred destination for both foreign and local tourists. But all of these figures are gone now, and we are starting anew as a destination. Next slide, please. This is how the region looks like after the lockdown. Now, there were so many foreign domestic tourists who were stranded in Western Visayas, and they were all evacuated through the Department of Tourism initiated flights. Thank you to Secretary Berna Puyat and to the Tourism Promotions Board. We initiated and organized 11 evacuation flights, 9 of which were for foreign stranded tourists in Western Visayas, and two flights for domestic stranded tourists in the region. And 46 flights we assisted also. These 46 flights were organized by the foreign embassies for their nationals, and also organized by local government units in the region. The number of tourists still present in Western Visayas as of this time is still around 1,000 foreign and domestic tourists. And we are still working on their evacuation with in cooperation with the Regional Task Force, the Office of Civil Defense, the OWA, the OAA, and the local government units and other sectors. The Office of Congresswoman Jam Baronda also is organizing some of the flights in and out of Iloilo City. Next slide, please. The services we have rendered so far are airport transfers, distribution of care kits and meals for passengers, check-in and pre-departure assistance, and many others to assist stranded tourists. Next slide, please. Next slide. The Western Visayas tourism product portfolio is loaded. Each of our 6 provinces and 2 highly urbanized cities have agri-farm tourism product. We have nautical tourism, we have culinary, we have cultural. I think we have to enlarge the slide. We have nautical, we have diving and marine sports, we have ecotourism, educational, tourism, leisure and entertainment, MICE, or meetings, incentives, conventions and events and exhibitions. We have nature-based tourism, we have pilgrimage, and of course, the ever sun and beach tourism. So these are the product portfolio of my region. Next slide, please. In the advent of the virtuals, what are we doing in the Department of Tourism in this advent of the virtuals? We have meetings with Western Visayas stakeholders. We have virtual tour guiding services, virtual skills trainings and seminars centered on the tourism product portfolio of Western Visayas. We will have soon seminars on hygiene, disinfection for personnel of accommodation establishments. We will have series of orientations on Administrative Order 2020-002 and Memorandum Circular 2020-002 issued by Secretary Berna Puyat on the new guidelines for accommodation establishments all over the country under the new normal. And soon we will have virtual familiarization tours for foreign and domestic Western Visayas inbound tour operators and travel agencies. Next slide, please. The classification of Western Visayas, LGUs or local government units under Interagency Task Force Resolution number 40 for June 1 to June 15. So we have Aklan under MGCQ or Modified General Community Quarantine, Capiz, MGCQ, Iloilo Province, MGCQ, Antique, MGCQ, Bacolod City, and Negros Occidental, as well as Guimaras, also MGCQs with Iloilo City as General Community Quarantine. But we are given until today, I think, to appeal this classification, and we are confident that we might be, or we will be given also a status, downgraded status to MGCQ, hopefully. Next slide. We have the guidelines for accommodation establishments in areas under modified general community quarantine, no? Limited operations under MGCQ. We may accommodate bookings of all guests. However, operations shall be at 50% operational capacity. Operations of ancillary establishments such as restaurants, cafes, bars, gyms, spas, and the like allowed to operate at 50% operational capacity only. Workforce requirements shall retain a skeleton workforce and observance of minimum public health standards, no, issued by the Department of Health. So in Region 6, despite the fact that we are already looking forward to MGCQ starting June 1, but the minimum requirement of wearing masks in public, as well as social distancing, no big mass gatherings are still observed, regardless of the downgrading. Because we all believe that just because there is a downgrading in our modified general community quarantine from general community quarantine does not follow that the virus is gone already. So we bear that in mind. Okay, next slide, please. Yes. Still, minimum public health standard shall be all persons are allowed to go out, but of course with certain restrictions. The same, then non-contact sports or exercise are allowed. Mass gathering shall be allowed, but up to 50% capacity of venue only. Physical workforce in offices may be allowed to full operations capacity. Category 4 and all other establishments may operate at a maximum of 50% operational capacity, subject to guidelines. All of this, public and private transportation shall be allowed. But of course, each of the national government agencies and the local government units have their respective rules and regulations pertaining to this general guidelines. Next slide, please. The ongoing DOT Region 6 functions during COVID-19 crisis are still planning, product and market development, and accreditation of tourism primary and secondary establishments all over the region, and manpower capacity building. All of these activities are done online or by virtual means. Next slide, please. I would like to point out how big is Region 6. No? As of 2015 census, that is 5 years ago, we were already 7.5 million. And as we are sitting here and having this online forum, we must be already over 8 million, considering that in-migration is quite heavy in Region 6, and we welcome also the coming home of our OFWs and the Balik Provincia participants coming from Luzon, particularly in the Metro Manila area. So these are my area, my provinces and cities under my area of coverage: Aklan, Antique, Capiz, Guimaras, Iloilo Province, Iloilo City, Negros Occidental, and Bacolod City. So these are yes, these are the areas under my watch. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very
Okay.
much.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much, Atty. Helen. Okay, Atty. Siguro in a nutshell, what we really want to find out really, with the Western Visayas region, as far as tourism is concerned, is now under modified, enhanced, no, modified general community quarantine. So, anong sitwasyon ngayon on the ground?
On
I'm
the
sorry?
ground, yes, on the ground, we are still not jubilant. You know, the atmosphere is still very cautious. Everybody is
Very restricted.
yes, still self-imposed quarantine, stay at home, especially for those who are senior citizens and 60 and up, 21 and below with
Hindi kami ni Michael yon. Hindi kami kasali ni Michael doon.
still, while we are looking at it on a very positive way, but the residents, the way I see it, are trying to discipline themselves not to be jubilant about it, because we
Kasi sa inyo,
much caution. Yes.
kasi sa inyo, attorney, no, nakita ko lang yung map niyo, looking through it, and I've also seen the cities and the major spots there. Ang dami yung magandang beaches, ang dami yung pwedeng pasyal. Ang mga tao ba lumalabas?
No.
Never mind for tourists who are
everybody,
coming in, pero
although we have Guimaras as COVID-free, and then now Capiz is also COVID-free, and Aklan, Boracay is COVID-free. Yes, but people are still observing as the protocols as if we are ECQ. Yes, because we cannot remove from our minds that despite the downgrading, the virus is still real, still very much alive, and just perhaps all this could waylay us, or could baka maano tayo, malinlang ng virus na because of this. But you know, starting June 1, there will be a lot of ease already considering the downgrading, and we welcome that. We welcome that. But in this region, the way I see it, health is still the number one priority. While we enjoyed a little relaxation and there is no more border restrictions, free travel of Western Visayas within the region, and no more military, very strict military control and uniformed personnel in the borders, but we are still very cautious.
I would imagine kasi even if I was a tourist, tapos medyo nag-GCQ na, pwede nang bumiyahe, and I go there. Pero yung mga locals, yung mga nandiyan sa Region 6, talagang mukha namang parang naglalakad ng turista, tapos nakatingin sa'yo, parang, tingnan mo to, anong ginagawa to, nagpapakamatay to. You know, everybody's nervous and apprehensive. Hindi rin ako mag-enjoy, di ba? Parang sayang lang yung pag-ibig turista.
I'll give you, Sir Barbie, an example. Iloilo City and Guimaras Island is divided only by a 15-minute boat ride. But you know,
that's correct.
When you are in Guimaras, if you have no very essential purpose in going to the city, you'd rather be locked down in Guimaras and remain COVID-free there.
Doon na lang.
Yes. Doon ka na lang. So, wala lang. Yung iba, nagde-deliver ng mga pagkain hanggang Pantalan na lang. Hanggang Wharf. Really cross, no? They don't leave their country.
Pero tama. Tama yung sabi, Michael, di ba? Mahirap kunyari, let's say, if you're going there, pero somber, yung mood is very somber, everybody's afraid, everybody's apprehensive, everybody feels restrained. even if tourists come, they will not be able to maximize their stay.
I agree.
Yes.
Medyo hindi rin sila matutuwa.
Yes,
But of
actually,
course, business. But of course, business is a little bit alive now, unlike
right,
before.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
very,
Okay.
Actually,
yeah, a
Sir
little bit
Barbie,
alive. Mm.
yeah, just want to add something to that. Actually, if we're just going to recap what we had discussed or what the discussion last forum, nag-lay down actually ng like if we want to bounce back, if we want to recover, we need the perception of the public should be very clear that the government is doing their part, securing also the people, also the private sector, and second is yung what the perception, yung confidence. We need to build the confidence of the people for them to travel
Mm,
locally. Even locally, we need that confidence to be there,
very
right? And
important.
of course, yung
Yeah.
clear protocol on how we will do this all together. Not only the hotel, not only the travel agencies, but also the transportation, the airlines, the people working in the hotel. So everything is actually interconnected.
Correct.
Yes,
Kahit
that's very
everything's in
true.
place, yeah.
Mm-mm.
Even if everything's in place, pero yung mga tao, yung mga people who work there, mga tourism workers there, hindi pa rin at ease. Hindi rin natin mabibigay yung quality of tourism that we have always been proud of and offered, di ba?
But
Yes.
I can
All right.
summarize our atmosphere here in the region in one short line. It's health over wealth.
Health over
Whatever,
wealth. Very good. Very
yes,
well
it's
said.
health over wealth. But if we
We
can
know
narrow
our
it down,
priorities.
yeah, we know
Yeah,
our priorities. It's
that's
health
correct.
over wealth. But little by
All right.
little, we are narrowing the gap because
Correct.
now the gap is so wide. We are narrowing the gap and we are happy and looking forward to the new normal.
Spot on. Di ba? What are you gonna do with good business? Tapos everybody's sick naman. So, talagang health before wealth. That's a good
Yes.
prioritization. Okay, let's take a look at it from the perspective of a worldwide look. Everybody around the world always talks about my dream place. My bucket list includes a wonderful island there in the Pacific in Asia called Boracay in the Western Visayas of the Philippines. Now that there's been a pandemic for the last almost 90 days, 70 days, what's the perspective like? How do they look at the Philippines now, particularly Western Visayas? We've got Mr. Peter Tai, from Managing Director of Boracay Adventures Incorporated, and also part of the Tourism Congress of the Philippines. Peter, how are you there in Singapore?
Well, getting used to the lockdown already because I've been stuck here in Singapore for a couple of months. So, well, for Boracay operators itself, we were actually recovering in 2019 from the Boracay closure, right? And then end of December of 2019, there were a typhoon, remember? And then after the typhoon that hit directly at Boracay, and then and the volcano eruption last January.
Yeah.
All this causes a massive what I call cancellation, but it was still okay. We were still able to manage it, and moving forward, and we were looking forward to a bright new 2021. Unfortunately, when I was actually the first few people to handle the Chinese tourists from Wuhan. I was called by the Department of Health to talk to these Chinese tourists if they actually came from Wuhan, and I need them to do quarantine, things like that. This actually happened last January 24. And I was like, I know about this thing happening in China, but I was not like prepared that this is so massive. It's going to be so serious that will cause Boracay to be closed down or locked down in last March 17. So the travel agency and tour operator were prepared. Honestly, we were not prepared of this massive closure. However, like what Mom Helen has just mentioned, health over wealth. So it is very important that we are going to take this seriously and to prepare ourselves to the new normal of tourism, not only in Boracay, but I believe in the whole Philippines and even in other parts of the world, there will be a new normal of tourism. So however, for now, um, it's time for us to move forward. You will see that a lot of it's not just only in Philippines that people are trying to gather staff and trying to improve things. You will see that in many other countries, people are already doing new things to move forward. All right, like for example, Mom Helen have very good plans for DOT for the last March. Actually, we have different packages that we have prepared. The packages that we will use for Western Visayas. So we will actually apply these packages, however, with a new normal in tourism, such as certain precaution that need to be noted and taken. All right, we are also uh, while in Singapore, I was actually working with a company. It's called LDR Technology. This company actually developed robots, and we are this robots is actually in place. Is using in Singapore, Israel, Japan, and even China. And we hope that these robots can also be utilized in the Philippines in the days to come. Because these robots, if you were to look at the chart right there, you will see that, like for example, the multi-purpose robot. This robot is able to be in a crowded place and he's able to identify people that are having high fever, for example, 38 or 39 and above. This robot is able to identify in a massive crowd of people, that means 100 or 200 people. He's able to identify, people that is having fever. And then number two, if you look at the contactless temperature scanner, I may send a proposal or even a letter to our governor, Mira Forest, to promote to it or to tell him about this equipment. Having this for example, at the jetty port. So when the tourists come into the jetty port, they will actually have a contactless temperature scanner. The scanner will be able to actually scan their temperature and will let us know if they are having high fever or something like that. And the next one, if you look at it, is a telepresence robot. Now this telepresence robot is served like a receptionist. If you go to a big shopping mall, you may want to ask the receptionist, or where can I go for this shop, or where can I have my dinner, what restaurant. Now this telepresence robot is able to act like a receptionist and giving people information that they need. So if this robot can be in, for example, in some location in Boracay, and they may say, oh, where can I have my lunch or my dinner, or what can I do in the island? This robot actually serve a very good purpose also. And if you were to look on, now we are very particular with tracing. If people are going to crowded places and we actually want to know if they have if they are infected by the virus, and how do we trace them? So the next one is what we call the tracing tools. We have this beacon card that we are able to trace people that are in a crowded area. They can scan using their QR code, or we are able to have a scanner, this beacon card, in like for example, like a welcome card given to them, and wherever they go, we will more or less have an identification, and this serve as a beacon of to be able to trace the people around. And lastly, which the hotel, like for example, Erwin may want to look into it for the Middle East market, the service delivery robot. Right now, we try to have contactless as much as possible. So we may even use, if you go to one of the hotel in Singapore, if you want to ask for toothbrush, or you want to ask for a glass of water, you will be very surprised that when you open the door, it's actually a robot delivering the items to you. So we are trying as much as possible to have a contactless tourism as much as possible. So for this, we are also this company LDR Technology is also developing right now visual tourism. So we are also looking at how to create. I wish I can come back to Philippines right now and develop as many products as possible on the because in Philippines there's so much things to show. You will see that in Philippines we have like for example, the Intramuros, the museums, the different places that we can actually go to, so we can actually show people the visual. We can actually go to the next step, which is the visual tourism in the days to come. Yes, thank you. If you guys have any questions regarding the robots, you can actually contact me personally. I can give you more information. Thank you, Sir Bon.
Certainly, thank you very much. Very, very, very interesting, Peter. A lot of different ways of doing things. This is the new. Some people call it the new normal. Other people call it the new abnormal. But certainly, things will be changing. Things will be different, and we can't do things business as usual. We'll have to introduce new things. Who was that? Marshall Goldsmith, I think, was the one who said, "The road that took you here, that brought you here, will not bring you to where you want to be tomorrow." I mean, you'll have to take different things. But let's look at the present tense still, Peter. You interact a lot with different peoples, different potential tourists. What's their thought? What's their impression now, particularly of the Western Visayas in the Philippines? Boracay, Iloilo, Capiz. What are people out there that you used to cater to from Malaysia, from Singapore, from Hong Kong, from Europe, who get in touch with you? What's their feel now?
Number one, of course, their very main concern is it safe to travel, right? And number two is
Yeah.
if they get to Boracay, of course, you can really enjoy the beach, the sunset, but they are more than just experiencing the sunset and the beach in Boracay. I
Yeah.
mean, the people who travel to Boracay for the activities, like sea sports. We have a lot of different sea sports activities, and even like scuba diving. People may want to travel there for diving lessons. These are things
Yeah.
that considering, or they will question me. They will ask me if it
Are
is
they
safe
there?
for these activities. And of course, right
Yeah.
now we are just beginning to open up. Now we are downgrading ourselves to a new normal, and we can see that as long as right now, at least there are tourists coming in the days to come. But for the activities wise, maybe in the month's time, or in a month or two, that the people can already enjoy the different activities in the island. Yeah.
That's your forecast. That's soon, 2 to 3 months.
I wish, I always
Oh yeah.
being a
Don't
very
we? Don't we all?
being a very positive person, I would say 2 to 3 months, it will be okay.
Yeah. Well, you did mention water sports and everything activities in the island. You did not mention the there are not much bikinis anymore.
Well,
Not now.
look at the video and the picture.
Well, it's gonna be missed for sure. Yeah, Mike, you wanna ask me
Yeah, yeah.
something?
Well, sir, you were mentioning about the new technology that's going to be used by the hotels, by the travel agencies, also by the airports. Is it now being implemented in Singapore, or it's planned to be implemented in the near future?
No, actually, in Singapore, you will see that in some places they are actually already using this equipment. So I actually took the opportunity and I mean, I always want to share these good experiences and all this good technology to Philippines. I consider Philippines my home, and I would like the Philippines to have all this technology to improve in the areas of tourism. To prevent explosion or a third wave or something like that on the COVID-19. We will have a good control. Yeah. So these robots that I've just mentioned just now, or you can review the chart again, you will see that all these different robots, they actually do different services. They extend different things. Yeah. So
It's here now.
if the
Yeah.
Philippine government is able to adapt all these robots in the different tourism destination, that would be a very good thing. People will feel safer. Wow, they have all these things. So it makes people feel different. That's right.
Yeah. So basically telling us,
I
Michael,
agree.
the future is here. It's not something to look forward to. It has to come. It has to be here now, here and now. All right.
Right.
We're gonna move over now to Kabayan. but he's not here in the Philippines. He's over there in the Middle East, in the United Arab Emirates. At of course, one of the hubs in the world as far as tourism and shopping and experience is concerned in Dubai. And he happens to be a duty manager of one of the bigger hotels there, the Holiday Inn. And he's going to tell us a little background of himself, why he's there now. And I don't know if he was caught trapped there during the quarantine or he's really there. Pero kabayan, from the perspective of people there in a tourism center like Dubai, how do they look at us here? What's the prospect of getting into a post-pandemic scenario? What are you doing in Dubai? What can be done in the Philippines? All that stuff. Our good friend Erwin Narito, kala ko kanina probinsyano ka pare. Kala ko si Coco Martin to eh. Di ba?
Yeah, good-looking guy.
Oo nga. Erwin? Yeah. Balitaan mo nga kami, what's going on?
First of all po, magandang hapon dyan ngayon sa Pilipinas. Ngayon kasi dito sa Dubai is 11:40 pa lang. So, medyo ahead ang Pilipinas ng 4 hours. So, iba yung timing natin. So, but then, I would like to greet you a pleasant good afternoon and a good day to the world. You know? In Dubai now, it's summer. First of all, I would like to introduce you myself first. I came to Dubai last December 1999 when my start of my career in hospitality. And now in Dubai is also locked down in like other country. So here it's getting improved now. We are improving now here. The Dubai government is very optimistic and vigilant sa mga nangyayari sa paligid. So they are sending through social media their guidelines kung anong gagawin natin sa our araw-araw, and then we are monitoring on daily basis what we can do in daily life, especially hospitality is in the great lockdown at the moment. So the same with other hotels all over the world. We are doing in Holiday Inn, we are doing our first of all, I would like to introduce our organization. This is dealing in hospitality practitioners in academia. We call ours United Hoteliers of the Philippines. It was founded 2013 in the Philippines by our very dynamic and hardworking leaders and members in the Philippines. So our tagline is one goal, one identity, and our vision is to establish a hoteliers organization that creates, connects, and fosters camaraderie among its members, helping one another in the pursuit of personal and professional excellence, and molds the best hoteliers in the present and the greatest leaders of the future. Our mission is to unite all hoteliers in the world, forming a new generation of peace-loving, skill-oriented, and God-fearing members with the standards, values, leadership, and integrity shaped primarily in the welfare of hospitality industry. Our advocacy is to promote unity, professionalism, knowledge, sharing, and acceptance through relationship that is based mutually beneficial, professional, respect, and integrity. So you can see now on our mostly as OFW, we are dealing in events and social media. So kasi iba-iba yung timing namin, we have different timing. If you can see here, our Dubai Consul General, Mr. Paul Raymond Cortez, attending one of our big events here in Dubai. So you can see also one of the biggest hospitality group, this name hospitality.com. This is CEO and founder, Mr. Raj Bhatt. This is the middle one. And our international ambassadors of United Hoteliers of Philippines is also Director of Human Resource in Dusit Thani, Dubai. This is Ms. Bajeline Tumbaga Pasio. And one of our UHP International Advisor, Mr. Jess Malia. So this is the key leaders of United Hoteliers of the Philippines. You can see our gatherings, our meetings. Since we are of OFW, I already told that we have the different timing, so it's very special. Important for us to have gatherings so we can feel we are an organization. If you can see our members in different hotels like Dusitani, the Address Hotel, Atlantis Hotel, mix of 5-star and 4-star hotel in Dubai. So these are our leaders in the international team. I also in the middle, if you can see. Okay, go ahead. As you can see, our most of our pictures is in the events. This is one of our induction of officers in Dubai. We have also awarding to those who are dynamic and very hardworking leaders of United Hoteliers Philippines International. This is one of our meetings in the Grand Excelsior Hotel. So our trainings and introduction to the newcomers and newbies of the organization. We have also members from Emirates Airline and managers, waiters, some rank and file also we have. This is one of our big events in the Carlton Palace Hotel, our first Christmas party. This is one also of one of the big events in Dubai. We have also a sponsor here, Filipino entrepreneurs in Dubai is helping and assisting us to promote our industry here in Dubai. Okay, go ahead. So now we have also Junior United Hoteliers of the Philippines. This is our leaders, the president, vice president, and this is our academy. Mostly they are students. We are also encouraging our students in hospitality courses to join the organization to be part of future of United Hoteliers of the Philippines. They are very hardworking and very dynamic students. Now they are all graduated from university, so they are also coming to UHP seniors. This is one of our gatherings and national in Tagaytay City. These are the leaders. Go ahead. And this is our successful UHP 5th year anniversary. One of our big events in the Philippines for events. Okay, lastly, this is our one of our pictures in 5th year anniversary with our guest speaker, Mayor Isko Dubangoso, our VIP guest. And that's it. So now, in Dubai, the government is very optimistic and vigilant in what's happening now in Dubai. So we, as hoteliers, we also following the guidelines and rules in connection with the pandemic COVID-19. So all hotels are there is some guidelines to follow before they operate. Some of hotels are also closed due to the low business, and some are opening. Like I also did some of my assignment to have some little survey to 5 of our members of the organization. I can tell the hotels also.
Discuss about Dubai videos natin ng social media.
Okay. All right. I also discussed the from Dusitani. They are operating, and they also have a guidelines also, and they forward me about this what they do in the new normal. All right. Also our Carlton Palace Hotel, they are closed at the moment because of this. Canvas Hotel is also closed, and our hotel is operating with yes. Okay, that's it.
So Erwin, as we saw that some hotels are actually operating, but before I go into the hotels, let me tell you about UHP. You know, when they started this organization, they invited me actually in some instances about 2016 to 2017, 2018. And the leaders of this organization are actually dedicated in bringing this organization globally, and not just here in the Philippines. But as you said, Erwin, that some hotels, big hotels in Dubai are not operating, but some bigger one or small one are operating. So, and you said that there's a protocol that has to be followed now before opening your hotels. Do you have the data of that protocol? Is this the same protocol that we are implementing here in the Philippines, or we have a different type of or list of uh, requirement before we can open hotels here in the Philippines?
Actually, since I'm already in quarantine period for 1 month, since April 25, I have no work, no pay here. So basically, I have some limited information about that. So what I understand is there is guidelines that they need to follow. Like same in the Philippines, like we have everywhere we have like a hand
Sanitizer.
sanitizer. Also, we are wearing mask, and
Yes.
it's very mandatory to wear mask here, and also the gloves in the while you are in the duty. For
Hand
example,
gloves.
like we are here in my hotel. For example, upon the entering of the hotel of the guest, we have like thermal scanning. We can scan also all guests who's coming in, just visiting the hotel, and also we have a guidelines for social distancing like 2 meters. So 2 meters. So we follow also that one social distancing procedure also here.
So the same thing here in the Philippines, or that's happening here in the Philippines. Sa the Dubai hotels and basically the whole tourism industry is in lockdown as well.
Mm-hmm.
Same here in the Philippines. But here in the Philippines, we're opening up. Uh, Region 6 is under MGCQ
Mm-hmm.
by June 1. So they are ready now by that time to accept local tourists, or what they call tourist bubble on their area. So the people nearby in these local tourism sites are now free to go to these hotels, tourism establishments, and accommodations. But
Actually now
in
is mhm. Okay.
Yes.
Actually now is in Dubai now is open for business now. Even the saloon and dental clinic is also open now here. So most of it is the business is starting to boost now in here in my place.
I
So
see.
yeah.
So Sir Barbie, I just interject no with the discussion or the presentation of Mr. Erwin Narito, and he talked about the operation in or what's happening in Dubai. So big hotel, or uh, more. I think we can say 95% of the hotel there are still in not in operation.
Yeah, yeah. All right. But Erwin, now you're trying to also, like in the Philippines or any other parts of the world, we're trying to bounce back. What are the measures that are being taken now by hoteliers over there in Dubai to promote our move towards normalcy, or okay, the new normal?
Basically in Dubai, yes, we also follow the new normal, of course. Same like with Philippines and other part of the world. That now it's a new normal. Yes. So as following the new normal, every hotels here in Dubai has there is like they have the campaign in their own brand hotels that they have they have some their own unique strategy. For example, like in our hotel, we have like same like with we have thermal scanning, we have some gloves and masks. We have also moon search. If you heard moon search, this
Ano
is
yun,
like
Moon Search?
moon search. Yes, this is the digital concierge. You don't need to go to the concert to ask questions and some
Okay,
inquiries.
okay.
Yes, in our
Okay.
yes, in our lobby. Yeah, in our lobby, there's a big screen like Samsung malaking TV doon sa ano. So the guests can all they can touch. They want to go to the place like this, and they can check by themselves. By the way, so they need
Oh,
this is to avoid person to person interaction with
I
the
see. Oh,
yes.
oh. Pero
So this is
what about ang siguro ang biggest indicator diyan yung volume ng guests, volume ng
yes.
tourists.
Of
Kamusta
course,
diyan?
yeah, of course, the same like with the other countries, including our country, Philippines. We are also have now it's limited guests, of course.
Mga ilan? Ilan ang binaba?
For actually malaking binaba, hindi ko masabi yung ano yung percentage.
Pero you're less than half of the
Talaga
normal.
medyo apektado rin talaga.
Talaga,
Hindi natin
talaga.
masasabi we cannot say the actual volume because um, we are international situation talaga eh.
Okay. Okay. Balikan natin. Thank you very much, Erwin. Balikan natin si Attorney Helen. Attorney,
Yes.
kamusta ang ano? Sabi ko nga kanina, as I was telling Erwin, it may not be the only indicator of kicking back or getting back into some sort of semblance of normalcy. Pero yung volume ng tourist, yun ang isang pinaka-tangible na basis. How is it now in Western Visayas? We were down in March because of the onset of the pandemic. Has it
Yes.
improved? Is it improving?
Well, as of now, it's still closed. No, it's still
Wala.
closed because there's a lot of travel, but not for tourism purposes. Definitely, there's a lot of travel. There are airlines operating. There are ships and vessels operating, and the land vehicles. The vehicles are really very active, but the purpose is not for tourism, but to
Okay.
transport the stranded foreign and domestic tourists or locally stranded individuals, students, and other OFWs for that matter, and to transport food and the construction materials, and also, of course, medical supplies and equipment. So there is a lot of income from these businesses going on in the region being populated by more than 8 million people. And so there's a need for really traveling. But
So,
for
yeah.
purposes of leisure travel, for purposes of tourism, there is none because the
Zero.
tourist
Leisure travel.
are still closed. It's still
Okay.
closed. But
What about yung mga
a little relaxation of all this effective June 1, but we are sensing a lot of reluctance. Of course, who would dare? Who would dare? Yesterday, I had a meeting with the governor, the mayor, and the private tourism stakeholders of Boracay, Aklan, and we are still determining when really we should open the island for real tourism. There is going to be a dry run on Monday to be undertaken by the mayor with a few tourism private sector stakeholders. And after that dry run, we have to meet again on Wednesday and brainstorm on when really should Boracay be opened to tourism. But if ever there's going to be opening of the island after June 1, it is not going to be earlier than June 15. And the first clients would be the Aklanons themselves. It's going to be the
The
Aklanons
Aklanons themselves. I see.
Yes, the Aklanons themselves. And it's not going to be overnight tourism, but only day
tours?
trips, day
Oh.
tours and
Day tours.
excursions. Of course,
it's
with
a-
a lot of social distancing, a lot of self-protection like masks and PPEs, alcohols, and so on and so forth.
Protocols. Oh.
Yes. So the health protocols take precedence over anything else. Yes, but
Parang ang
there's
hirap kasi ng parang ang hirap kasi ng protocol sa inyo, no? Like for example, face mask. Magsiswimming ka, hindi naman pwede naka-face mask, di ba? Mahirap yata.
Yes, Mr. Chansa, Sir Barbie, no? My region is composed of more than 200 islands, and
200.
many of them are tourism-oriented, very touristic
Ah,
islands, and this is the real challenge. It's both positive and negative. On the positive side, not all are contaminated. For example,
ah,
Boracay is COVID-free, and that's one very good selling point for the island na
COVID-free.
maintain niya ang kanyang pristine. Kahit in COVID crisis, it's still a pristine island, Boracay. So that's our capital. And even if we are going to open it for tourism purposes, we want it to remain COVID-free. No positive,
ah, that's
case
good.
in the island.
So you're saying that the first step towards bouncing back is to also first to cater to locals. I mean, I'm not talking about local
Local.
Filipino tourists. Locals.
Yes, prior to COVID-19, Department of Tourism Region 6 has this running promotion. We call it Experience Western Visayas First. If you are an Aklanon, there's a promotion on Experience Aklan First. Guimaras, Experience Guimaras First for the residents of the local government units or the geographical units of the region. So our first tourists will be our own residents. And we are looking at it as something that will generate economic activities also with a lot of health protocols observed still as
Okay.
a
Okay.
priority.
I see.
All right.
So ma'am,
Peter.
these
Yeah.
are
Mike.
so these are cities to cities lang or province to cities like
Oh.
cross
First,
boarding lang ito.
first within the province only.
Oh.
Because how many of Aklanons have seen and known Aklan that well? How many Guimaras nons or how many Ilonggos have known their provinces or the city that well within geographical
Oh.
units as a first step? And then second phase will be interprovincial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Within the region.
Capiz, yes, or Aklan to Negros Occidental
Oh.
to Capiz, or to Aklan, Guimaras to Antique, and so on and so forth. We are
Ah.
after intra-provincial tourism.
Intra-provincial.
Ang tatanong ko dyan kay Attorney Helen, mamaya pagbabalik natin my question is like, if I was from an Aklanon, I was an Aklanon, what are the other nice places that I should visit aside from the ones that were well renowned already? Of course, there's the pristine Boracay, there's Guimaras, there's the historic city of Iloilo, there's the rich city of Bacolod, Manukan country and all. Pero, ano pa ba yung pwedeng mga less discovered, no? Pero Peter, I'm going to go back to you. Earlier, you gave me an optimistic note. You're saying maybe 2 to 3 months we're starting to bounce back. What gives you that optimism?
Well, you see, the economic need to be bounced back. So I believe that the government is also looking at ways and means. So when I say that 2 to 3 months, it's not like the whole the Boracay, for example, will be open up to the whole Philippines, but at least to the Western Visayas. So, like for example, what to add on to what the Mom Helen had just mentioned, the last last March or so, we were already having some agency coming from Iloilo, Antique, Bacolod. They are actually we were actually sending emails to them, and they also have people sending emails to us that would like to partner with us because they also see that for the beginning, for the start, at least we can start with the Western Visayas market, and then later when other provinces got better, where their situation, their health situation get better, then for example maybe we can even have a direct flight from from a club, that it used to have, so for the northern side of the Philippines, if everything there is good, then they can actually fly from Clark to Capiz or Calibo, and this will actually maybe the second phase of the preparation for the tourism. and then the third will be maybe the whole Philippines, and then the fourth will be international, something like that.
And
Mm-hmm.
if I may put in something to
Yeah,
that,
Helen.
according to our meeting yesterday, we would strongly push for if we go to the phase wherein we will welcome domestic tourists coming from other regions or other provinces, we would like to have visitors only with the same category as ours. Like if we must admit them, they should come from a place that is MGCQ also, and not
Oh.
GCQ or ECQ,
Mm.
because baka
I
mahawaan
see.
kami. So
Yes. Yes.
it's not fair. Better na lang na i-limit namin sa domestic muna, and then the places na MGCQ din, and
Okay.
very low ang kanilang cases.
Okay. Attorney Helen, nangangamusta si Ruth Concepcion. How are you daw? And Jonal Bautista, siguro I'll ask Erwin about this first. In case resorts or hotels open in 50% capacity, what about the guidelines in using pools for guests? I don't know if you're adopting anything about it now with your hotels in Dubai. Pero what are the usual practices? What are the restrictions about using swimming pools?
Of course, sir, you need to wear a mask also. Just
In the
joking.
pool, ah?
Actually, at the moment, due to the still the virus is still alive po talaga, sabi ni attorney na po. So we cannot trust the virus. So my recommendation is not to use at the moment the pool kasi the virus is still hindi naman siya nalulunod, no. So he's alive. So I recommend not to use the pool at the moment. So by the way, there is a chlorine there. I don't know if the chlorine can kill the virus itself, no. So
Say discouraged.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I strongly recommend to
Discourage.
discourage.
Pero
At the
dyan
moment,
sa,
yes, at the moment.
what about yung beach? Di ba madami rin beach yan sa Dubai? No? I've never been there. Pero di ba may mga beach line yan, di ba?
Yes,
Pwede
sir.
ba
I
mag-swimming sa
discovered
beach?
that the virus can killed by the salt. That's just joking.
Oo nga.
So and example in our hotel, our swimming pool is closed. So we discourage guests to even the door is closed, so they
So in
cannot
other words,
even the swimming.
swimming
Yeah.
will be discouraged. No?
Yeah.
Pero ang laki
Yeah.
setback yun, di ba? Helen, Peter,
Actually-
that's going to be a big setback, for example, for Boracay. I mean, if you cannot swim, what are you going to do there?
Yes.
So that's one of the concern that some operators they were saying that, oh, June 1 is Boracay is going to be open. Okay, so are we going to swim? Are we able to go scuba diving? I say, well, they actually make some changes. So swimming is allowed, but we haven't got any news yet if scuba diving is allowed. So of course, I have dive divers who asked me and asked me to check on it if scuba diving is allowed. So hopefully, maybe Mom Helen, you can follow up next meeting with the task force in Boracay and check with them if scuba diving is allowed.
But so far the plan is to open it, the swimming. Swimming will be allowed.
Yeah,
Is that-
swimming is already allowed. They allow people to go swimming. So of course,
Okay.
if, after swimming you put on the mask. You don't have to put on the mask during swimming. But after
Not during the swimming.
Mhm.
Pwede rin kasi swimming is allowed as long as you don't go to the water. That's another thing. Attorney Helen and then Michael. Attorney.
Yeah, thank you. Peter, I would like to invite you to our next Boracay meeting on Wednesday, 9 o'clock, with the governor, the mayor, and all the tourism private stakeholder representatives there. June 1, that's going to be Monday, is just the dry run. No opening yet.
Oh, I
Just
see.
the dry run. Because we want to make sure that Boracay is ready with all the protocols before we open it to even the local tourists from Aklan itself. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Erwin wants to add
Okay.
something first, Mike.
Sir,
Yes.
actually,
Erwin,
for the
Erwin,
swimming,
please.
yeah, for the swimming, there's a different types, no? Like one is a swimming pool, one is on the beach. So what I am talking earlier is in the swimming pool. So I think it's not recommended for swimming in the pool. But on the beach, this is one of the healthy.
It's allowed.
Yeah, this is my recommendation. But since I
Ah.
was locked down for almost more than 1 month, so it's a good question to me also. So I need to research here in Dubai if someone is swimming.
Okay.
Actually, it's good, very good.
So
But I recommend to swim in the beach. Yes,
I mean,
sunlight,
currently, Erwin, from where you're seated, pag tumingin ka dyan sa bintana, may nagsiswimming ba sa beach? May tao ba
Ito
sa
po,
beach?
may swimming dito sa...
Meron, meron.
Actually, we are in the city inside. We don't have a beach.
You don't see the beach.
Dubai
Okay.
is they have a very good beaches actually here in Ras Al Khaimah also, and also our hotel is overlooking the beach also. So it's a very good question to me also. I need to research for that.
Find out. Tapos paalam mo sa amin.
Yeah.
Yes,
Mike?
please. So, ma'am, actually, address ko lang yung question kay Attorney Helen J. Catalbas. Ma'am, paano, for example, sa Region 6, ang daming hotel natin? You are the third most numbered of hotel in the Philippines, right? The first is NCR, second is Cebu, and then third is Region 6. If there are for example, more than 200 hotels, and by this coming June 1, you will be under MGCQ, will they need a clearance or permit to DOT before they can open their establishment, or
That's a good question.
They need to wait for your advice or clearance?
That is a
Or
very good
automatic na
question.
ba?
Yeah, that is a very good question, Mike. No, and earlier we mentioned about that when we were off the air, and it is actually the center of the memorandum circular issued by the secretary and the administrative order on the new guidelines of operating tourism accommodation establishment. So all the hotels will have to get a certification for authority to operate, granting that they individually, and as a prerequisite to that, they should be accredited, and of course, those who are not yet should get accredited, and they should have a valid mayor's or business permit for the new one.
Follow-up question lang, ma'am. Yeah, follow-up question. So, ma'am, kung walang if we need to for hotels, if they need to ask permission or clearance or permit, then we will now go on to the travel agencies or tour operators who sell hotel rooms and tour packages. So, ibig sabihin, ma'am, hindi pa sila pwedeng magbenta. We cannot sell tour packages or hotel accommodations to the people. Yeah.
No, not yet. Not yet. Because on Monday, it's not yet open. The hotels that are not authorized to open are not yet open. They're still closed. Those who are authorized at this point are those who are housing stranded tourists and those who are being occupied by long-staying guests. And quarantine centers for OFWs and OFs also. So for the rest, they are really closed. And unless they are given a certificate to operate, they cannot open. That is granting they have valid mayor's permits.
So I guess, gano'n ba tama ba yung answer doon? Si Romeo Apulega texted in ang question, yung nag-open daw yung Boracay after it was closed. Before it reopened, required daw that they book their rooms for hotels prior to the reopening. Now, we're not going to do that. I mean, like, if we're anticipating that we're reopening in 2 to 3 months, hindi pa pwede mag-advance booking now.
No, hindi. Hindi, sir. My answer to that is hindi pwede pa.
Hindi pa payagan.
Hindi pa papayagan. Wala pa silang authority to operate. So they are closed. And although it's still COVID period and we are looking forward to the reopening of the island, but the protocol observed during the rehabilitation of the island, during the closure and the reopening some 2 years ago, will still be observed. No confirmed booking, no entry to the island.
All right.
No confirmed booking, no entry.
Okay.
Yes,
Peter,
that is the
yeah.
same protocol that we are going to observe for guests going to Boracay Island. Because if
Okay.
we open it without any protocol at all, people might rush in, and we don't know how to track them. So
No.
now, yes, now they have to follow that protocol we observed during the closure of Boracay for rehabilitation purposes.
Okay. Okay. Mike?
Ma'am, siguro kailangan malaman 'to ng ating mga travelers, no? The people should know this information because a lot of tour packages or mga tour operators or agencies are now selling or they are pre-selling uh,
Oh,
under the assumption that we will open on September or first week of first month of 2021. So
may
right now
forecast.
we cannot really sell, or people cannot buy. I mean, the local travelers cannot buy or should not buy from offers in social media because it's still closed, no?
For between June 1 and uh, according to Peter, 3 months. I don't see any
I,
reason why they should book within that period already. Because as I have said, we cannot contain yet the locals and the regional tourists going to Boracay. And my advice
Yeah.
to pre-buying or pre-selling tour operators or hotels is please wait till
Yes.
the final announcement of the opening. It will be
Because
posted everywhere online, mainstream and
May,
media.
to add
May, you
on,
Yes.
cannot foretell. You
yeah,
cannot foretell when, no? Peter,
that's
Peter, let me just before your statement, I'll just like to ask you, what about those people before the pandemic were booked already with you? What happened? Do they get a refund or they can rebook
actually,
it?
to be on fairness, we because we have to live honor our words. Anything that fall under like situation like this, we have to give 100% refund without any surcharge. So actually I did a lot of refund for the last few months, and
Hmm.
I'm done with all the refund. There's no more further refund. And to add on to what Mom Helen had just mentioned, there were people actually make booking with my platform, and I have to block it. I have to say not at the present moment
You
because
can't accept.
I
Yeah.
was just being optimistic when I say hopefully in 3 months' time everything could be done.
Okay.
However, if the situation is not being contained, if the situation is not, maybe for example, something, if we already open up and something happen, we may have to close again. So at the present
Okay.
moment, my agency, I am not receiving any advance
Booking.
booking. I
Yeah.
already have a lot of people emailing to me and telling me I would like to make booking for November, December. I say, wait a minute, we are not opening to any reservation at the present moment. To
Yeah.
be
Mm.
safe.
Because I was so. In other words, in your case, you do absolutely have no clients who've been booked before and told you keep my money. I just want to use it when the pandemic's over. Not
We
no
do
case like that.
we
You
do
do.
have people that say that it's okay. We will come back to you after the pandemic, and we will just rebook again. Because I also give
Yeah.
another.
Yeah.
I give a few options. Option number one, you could request for a full refund. All right.
Yes.
Option number two, you can defer the date of activities without any expiry date. That means anytime you
Right.
can use, and you can transfer to anybody. So this
Okay.
this will be a very good. Well, people will still come back to us eventually. Yeah.
Because my only apprehension there, Peter, if I were in your shoes, is that we cannot also predict the cost of operations after the pandemic. Like if the planes, for example, will be required to only get 50% capacity, chances are they will jack up their rates, and your old rates will no longer be applicable. So how
Yeah,
do you recoup
true.
the cost?
Well,
Mm-mm.
I don't have a lot of cases on this. Maybe I'll say
Okay.
less than 5 cases. So if ever they come back again and the prices increases, you see, I've been doing business for many years. I will just honor our transaction and just let it come true. The
Okay.
important thing is this. The important thing is this. If we can encourage people to come back especially Filipino visiting the Philippines. I would like them to, visit not just Boracay, go to different cities in Bohol, in Cebu, in all the
Palawan.
different destinations. There are so many destinations in the Philippines that I myself, as a Singaporean, I have traveled all around the Philippines, and I love the Philippines.
Good for you.
There are so
Yeah.
many places that we can actually encourage people, Filipinos, to travel. That's why I always say, why are you spending
Wow.
money in Singapore, in Malaysia? I say, spend your money in your own country. Spend money in the Philippines.
Thank you very
Hey,
much,
we,
Mr.
we,
Tash.
we,
Yeah.
we should show this. You should show this clip all over the
Yes,
Philippines and make
yes, yes.
Peter
We will.
promote that. Can I read a couple of questions here? Shote
Yes.
Trishatan is asking, I think Attorney Helen, this is for you. Water parks and adventure rides like zip lines and rope courses, are we allowed to operate?
I cannot hear very well. I'm sorry.
Okay. A question, water parks, adventure rides, zip lines, rope courses. Kasi ang exercises daw, pinapayagan na sa
Yeah.
GCQ, no? So are they allowed to operate now? I suppose they have a park.
Not yet now, because still next week. But I'll check on the water parks, no, because
Okay.
it seems like it's not in the enumeration. I might
Wala.
have I might have skipped it, But is that shooting? Yeah, yeah,
Shote Tan, yeah.
yeah,
Siguro
yeah.
Shote should make her proper representation to make sure they're
Yeah.
represented.
I'll
Yeah.
check on the IATF resolution if that is one of the enumerated activities that is allowed. But definitely swimming is allowed, biking is allowed, other form of exercises, especially the
Yeah.
non-contact ones. Yeah.
Okay.
But
Yung
water
extreme
parks.
sports, you will have to check. When will the authority to operate be available to process our business? From Jonel Bautista.
To
Kailan daw po?
process your okay. We will start issuing next week the authority to open, provided they have the OT accreditation first. If they are accommodation establishment, only first for accommodation establishment only,
Okay.
because
All right.
we do not want to hurry the certificate to operate immediately,
Mm-hmm.
because for all we know, the LGUs or the local chief executives are not yet in agreement for a
Yes.
full opening. We have to
Yeah.
respect the local chief executives because the
Okay.
destinations are their territory. Ours, our mandate is for the properties only, especially
Kailangan
accommodation.
pasabi tayo doon. Local
We have,
governments.
yes,
Yep, we've got
yes, local
we've
government
got text.
chief executives, very important.
All right. Maraming salamat daw, Jason Uitan, Ms. Renea Ferrer, yeah, Charm Belen. May computer shop po ako, 3 months ng close. Ewan ko, tourism
Iba
to
po yan. I
tourism
think iba
related.
po yan. Yeah.
Iba yata to, sa business yata to eh. Noli
Yes.
Arguelles, GCQ to MGCQ, sa DOT guidelines, establishment should write a letter of intent to operate before they can be issued a certificate to open. So by June 1, they can start operation. Is this for the DOT accredited establishments only? Guideline ba yun ng DOT?
For DOT accredited establishments is the first priority, but even if they are not accredited, they can still be given authority to operate, provided they help in the quarantine. If they offer their facility as a quarantine facility during this pandemic, even if they are not accredited, provided they have mayor's permit, they can be given authority to operate.
Okay.
I see. Okay.
Madami na pwedeng gawin. Babalikan ko si Attorney Helen. Kung ako'y tiga Aklan or ako'y tiga Iloilo, what else is there in Western Visayas that I can visit and explore? Kasi okay, alam ko na yung Boracay, alam ko na yung Bacolod, alam ko na yung Iloilo. Meron pa ba? Mukhang marami pa no? Attorney?
There are many. There are so many, Sir Barbie. No, there are so many in Negros Occidental. There are several islands there, as far as the north of Negros or south of Negros. so many secrets. Some of them do not want to be high profile advertised. You know,
They want
some
to
of
be
them
kept
would,
secret.
yes, some of them, sometimes we have a hard time convincing them to get accredited, because they say when we are accredited, we will be open to the world and we will
Oh,
find it very difficult to control, because, you know, one of our incentives as a DOT accredited establishment is we offer free publicity, free advertisement, and they say, oh, we're sorry, we don't like to
wag na
be
lang.
advertised. So yeah, if you want to know, I
Makes
can
sense.
email to you. Just give me, because they don't want to be open to the general
Oh,
public. Yes, but
kasi
there are
we've
so
seen it.
many.
We've seen it happen
There's
too
so
often,
many.
no? Marami magagandang, pristine, and very fresh places to go to. Pagka pinasok na ng mga tao,
Yeah,
nasasalaula, and then the beauty is gone. That's
yes,
a
that's
sorry sight.
true. That's some of the problems we have with our islands that are over marketed, oversold, and then the tourists would end up getting frustrated, no, and
No,
disappointed. That's the reason behind the closure of Boracay in the first place. No, di
no.
ba, Peter? Yeah. Now it's with the closure and the rehabilitation and the reopening, we have a new
Oh,
Boracay. And we do not want
kuminsan,
that to happen to the other islands also of Region 6.
minsan nare-rape yung nare-rape yung tourist attraction eh. Sayang naman.
Yeah.
Pero are they accessible now, Attorney Helen? Is there
Yes, they are
transportation
accessible.
available?
We have a lot of tourism road projects all over Western Visayas, roads leading to tourist destinations, even in the hinterland. Sometimes there are more roads than tourist destinations and tourists and even houses along the way. But that is how we do it now. We put accessibility to the remote areas so that the population will be dispersed to the countryside, no, in terms of population, resident population, and also tourist population for that matter. So now accessibility is very good. It's no problem.
You've done your part from the government, from the private sector, from the hotel community in keeping tourism alive, and now we're looking forward to a restart, a repurposing of our tourism. What can people do? What can we ordinary tourists and locals do to be able to help get us back into the track? Ano ba pwede natin maging paglalahok dyan? Erwin, let's start. Anong pwedeng gawin ng simpleng mamamayan para maibalik natin tong sigla ng turismo?
Of course, for my side, we need to think positive, of course. We need to focus on what our goals to bring back our economy, especially in the Philippines. No, marami tayong magagandang beaches dyan. Sinabi nga ni Atty. Helen dyan sa Region 6. So, we need to plan. We need to research what we can do. Since I'm also writing here for what I can suggest. You know, Filipino is good for improvise. So let's improvise to something branded. You know, this is the time for actual digital area now in our business. So yun, kailangan natin mag-improvise and mag-focus kung anong pwede natin gawin. Think about and discuss more like this, like a panel, you know. Kasi maraming mga tao ang nakikinig sa atin na pwede na natin i-apply sa mga business din nila. Yun.
Alright, maraming salamat. And Erwin, ingat ka dyan. And mapagmamalaki. Sigurado ka hindi ko yung probinsyano, ha?
Hindi po.
Peter, coming from the perspective of a Singaporean disguising or a Filipino disguising as a Singaporean, what can you tell us Filipinos so that we can help bounce back our tourism?
Well, the new normal will require a new attitude. You know, I believe maganda na ugali is very important. You know, because you will see that that there's, because of the new normal, you will see that there's a lot of police around. You will see that there's a new procedures and new things that you need to do. Things that we never used to do before, like putting on a mask. You know, but like for example, in Singapore, if you don't put on a mask, it will cost you 12,000 pesos. If you don't do social distancing, it will cost you 45,000 pesos. But in Singapore, in Philippines, at least you are not being fined, for not obeying, like putting on masks or social distancing. But if we can cooperate with the government, all right, and help to build the tourism industry, and also it's not just the tourism industry, the whole Philippines. The Philippines had to rise again. And I've been in the Philippines for many years. I see how Filipinos are strong, and one of the attitude or one of the beauty of Filipinos are, in spite of all the problems and all the problems that we may have gone through, we can still put on a smile and say mabuhay. Thank you.
Very resilient,
Mabuhay.
right? And they cannot find us anymore, Peter, because a lot of people are out of work, nothing to pay with. So no fines. Okay, Attorney Helen, or before we go
Yes.
to Attorney Helen, papaalala ko lang muna po yung ating mga audience, please would like to invite you to answer the survey from 2Echo. Mamaya ipa-flash natin sa screen.
Yes.
Wag po kayo. Before you leave us, please answer the surveys. Attorney Helen, how can we help?
Yes, the residents, the Filipinos can help local tourism or Philippine tourism by first and foremost staying healthy, because only healthy people can travel within the Philippines, within the respective regions, or within their own locality. Secondly, they should produce local and support local brands. Thirdly, they should travel if they are healthy, and they and buy a lot of local souvenirs, so that our craftsmen, our localities of small handicrafts can live. And next is we should farm more and fish more, so that we can produce our own food. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, Attorney Helen. Mukhang
Yes.
with that picture painted by our panelists, there's still a lot to look forward to as far as Philippine tourism is concerned. Malaki pa ang pag-asa at wag tayong maging desperate. We're resilient people and there's something that can be done. Mike?
Yeah, siguro takeaways dito sa ating discussion. I think we should keep talking and discuss possible solutions and cooperations between the private sector and the government sector. This is very important. Hearing directly from our DOT regional officers that travel agencies cannot operate right now, tour packages cannot be pre-sold, hotels cannot or are not allowed to sell their accommodations until they are given the authority or permit by the local government and by the Department of Tourism. So for us travelers who wanted to actually go out of our homes and start traveling and go to beaches here in the Philippines, please listen and or watch and listen to our speakers or panelists to be guided on how we will be allowed to travel on and when we'll be allowed to travel. Also, ang isang nakuha ko dito sa discussion is yung cooperation and yung digitalization. We need to digitalize. Now, we need a technology to to locate, to account, to track, and to secure our travelers. With technology, it can happen, and that's the reason why Tourismo PH is created. Itong Tourismo TV naman is a format where this discussion is being done or ginagawa ang discussion ito. We are open to other regional officers, especially in the Department of Tourism and DOTR, if they want to be heard by the public or by the community travelers. They need you, and we need you to speak up and inform the public of the do's and don'ts in this new norm of tourism. Thank you, Sir Barbie.
All right, thank you very much. And we'd like to thank our panel. Erwin, we're always proud of Filipinos working abroad and making us really proud that you contribute to the worldwide global community. Peter, I'm so touched about your comment about the Filipinos being a Singaporean yourself, not only because you do business here, but because you've interacted a lot with the Filipinos. Ma'am Helen, maraming salamat po sa ating pamahalaan,
Yes.
sa ating Department of Tourism. And yeah, we're with you. We're 100% behind you. Let's rally our people towards a new norm. Folks, if we are doing the same things that we have always been doing, we cannot expect new results. If you want to have new beginnings, new results, let's reset, let's reboot, and then let's get into it. The only people that really can save us from this pandemic problem and getting into a new start, a new beginning, is no one else but ourselves. At sabi nga ng aking mayor sa Maynila, walang tutulong sa Batang Manila, kundi ang kapwang Batang Manileño. Pero ganoon din sa Pilipino. Walang tutulong sa Pilipino na higit pa sa kapwa niya Pilipino. Yan si Peter, kahit sa Singapore pinanganak at lumaki yan, Pilipino na rin yan, kaya katulong na rin natin yan. At sa ngalan po ng Tourismo PH na pinangungunahan po ni Mr. Michael Herrera, kami po ay naghahamon sa ating mga kababayan. Yung turismo po ng Pilipinas, malaki na iambag sa ating pag-unlad. Tulungan po natin makabalik, makaahon, at muling magsimula ang turismong Pilipino. Sa seltapong yan, ako po ay nagpapaalam na sa ngalan. Michael, pwede na tayo magpaalam, no?
Yes, apo, pwede na po tayo magpaalam.
Alright.
Maraming salamat po sa lahat po ng tagapakinig at tagapanood natin sa araw na ito. Maraming salamat din po sa ating mga panelists that's nagbigay ng panahon and their time and then their effort in this forum.
All right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, in behalf of Turismo Pilipinas or Turismo PH and Turismo TV, nagpapaalam po kami lahat sa inyo at hanggang sa muli, sana magkita-kita muli tayo. Ito po si Barbie Atienza at Bayanihan, we heal as one.
Yes.
Bye.
Peter, see you Wednesday. Peter,
See you.
Boracay meeting. Yes.
God first.
Yeah, God first. Yes, Erwin.